Hello, and welcome to Zodiac Signs Explained, a video series where I talk about each zodiac sign and I explain what gives them their famous qualities, along with looking at some celebrity examples who strongly showcase the qualities of the zodiac sign. My name is Elena, I'm a professional Vedic astrologer, and today we will be talking about none other than Leo. So if you're a Leo or you want to know more about the zodiac sign, keep on watching. Leo zodiac sign description will apply to you if one or more of your big three placements are in Leo, or if you have three or more planets in Leo zodiac sign in your birth chart. Now let's look at Leo's zodiac sign characteristics. Leo is ruled by the sun, and this tells us several important things about the zodiac sign. The sun is the center and the main celestial object of the solar system, where all of the planets in our galaxy revolve around the sun. So just like the sun, Leo zodiac sign also possesses the same central quality, and this is the first keyword to associate with Leo. This is one of the reasons why Leo natives like to be in the center of attention and why it's important for them to naturally become the center of the room, any room that they're in. It is important for them to be the it person. It's important to be admired, to be recognized for their talents, for the things that make them special, to feel like they're important to other people, and to feel like they're chosen as a worker, a lover, a favorite child, or any other role that Leo native may occupy. Leos thrive on words of recognition, so sincere compliments go a long way with them, although they are very sensitive to all forms of false flattery, as well as any hurtful words that can bruise their ego. Although if they're hurt, they likely will not show it because it is really important for them to save face and carry themselves with dignity. So in that way, appearances matter a lot to Leo. Now, they do all of this in a natural way, and most of the time, this fits very organically with their personality. However, if a person has several malefic planets placed in Leo, or in general, if they're not manifesting Leo's energy well, then this need and this desire to be the center of attention can show up as narcissism, vanity, being obsessed with one's looks, themselves, their image, and really a person can turn into somebody who can suck the air out of the room. This is a sign that is associated with royalty, nobility, authority, government power, and leadership. Now let's start unpacking some of these Leo meanings. The royal nature of Leo, which is keyword number 2, is what gives the sign a certain grandeur. Leo natives like to live large. They usually have expensive taste, and they tend to like extravagant things. They deeply believe that they deserve the absolute best of everything, as is fit for their royal nature. So they often want to be surrounded by items of luxury, status, wealth, and prestige. Leo's royal nature is also where Leo gets its ambitious side. It is very important for Leos to thrive, to build a dynasty, to create a legacy, and to leave a mark on the world. This means that they usually work exceptionally hard, and they're usually highly motivated by career, social status, and success, with these things being at the top of their priority list overall. People with many placements in Leo naturally gravitate towards leadership roles, and this is keyword number 3. And they usually excel in them, as we will see with some of our celebrity examples. Leo natives typically have excellent strategic vision, and they understand responsibility. People can rely on them to lead them into uncharted territory, to carry the brunt of responsibility and of taking the weight on for making the most important decisions that nobody else knows how to make. Leo natives are excellent at knowing what to do in never seen before circumstances, and by taking on the power to make these decisions for other people, they also assume responsibility for them, be it family members, a team at work, or a whole country worth of people, because a lot of Leo natives find themselves in the highest leadership positions possible, meaning high circles of government and politics. Another quality that can be attributed to the royal nature of the sign is its generosity. Keyword number 4. A good king takes care of its people, and it's really important for Leo natives to do that. But the way they take care of people is not the same way that Cancer natives, for example, do, where Cancer natives tend to nurture and act as a support system. Leo natives offer their favor, their advice, their protectorship, and patronage to someone. When somebody falls in their favor, they are extremely generous with showering them with attention, appreciation, gifts, opportunities, and anything that they can offer because of their generous nature. And in this way, they show their big heart and generous spirit. Now, heart and spirit are keywords number 5, and they're very important for Leo. That is because in medical terms, Leo as a zodiac sign is associated with the heart, and Sun, as the planet that rules Leo, represents our spirit. The heart supports the generosity theme, along with the general cordiality and warmth with which Leo natives are known to treat the ones that they care about, just like the sun that gifts its warmth and light to the entire solar system. The spirit meaning here offers another interesting layer of interpretations, all of which are connected to the self, keyword number 6. Leo as a zodiac sign is a conduit of our sense of self and of our spirit's expression in the outer world. And that is part of the reason why Leo natives are often so hyper aware of the self. Leo is the sign of self-everything, selfishness, ego, self-image, self-confidence, self-esteem, self-realization, self-discovery, self-help. You get the idea. This is because Leo's zodiac sign primary job is to push a person toward self-realization, to push them to fulfill their potential in the world. In the worldly, more material aspects, this often means that Leo natives focus their attention on things like career, social status, image, and the ego. However, in the higher aspects, self-realization is also related to self-discovery. Leo is the force that pushes you to develop self-awareness and go on a personal growth journey. The evolution that Leo zodiac sign pushes you to go through is letting go of the attachment to things like external validation and regalia and connecting with what it is that you truly love and truly are, and being confident and comfortable enough showing up this way in the world, frills or not. One of the biggest focus points for Leo is self-expression, meaning creativity, which is keyword number 7. Leo is not the only creative sign of the zodiac. However, it is the most creative sign of the zodiac because this is the sign for whom the aspect of creation and creativity is what gives life meaning. For this reason, there are many talented designers, creative people, innovators, artists, and authors that represent the Leo zodiac sign. But also, this is the reason why family and children in particular are so important to Leo natives, because they're so driven by their desire to procreate as well as to build a dynasty and leave a legacy. Authenticity, keyword number 8, is a big theme for Leo, and it ties back to self-expression. For Leos, more than anyone, it is very important to represent themselves as they truly are and create work that is authentically theirs, unique, and hasn't been done before. Otherwise, they can suffer substantial reputation damages from building a misleading image of themselves or misrepresenting other people's work as their own. Plagiarism and overall fakeness is something that we can see if a Leo zodiac sign is very heavily afflicted in the birth chart, or in general if a person just doesn't have a good contact with Leo's zodiac sign energy. Leo's creative nature is one of the reasons why this zodiac sign is related to various forms of entertainment, keyword number 9. Another reason is that 2 out of 3 constellations within Leo deal with different forms of entertainment. The first one is Purva Phalguni, constellation that finds itself in the middle of Leo, and this is a constellation of grandeur and hospitality. So people who have notable placements here can just be good hosts and are very hospitable by nature, but also if enough birth chart placements are found in this constellation, they can have a business or a career in hospitality and be tied to things like concierge services, hotel and restaurant industry, nightclubs, spa centers, or any other places where people come to relax and have a good time. And this also nods to the generosity theme that we discussed earlier. Now, the other constellation that's notable here is Uttara Phalguni, and it is found at the very end of the Leo zodiac sign. One of the themes for Uttara Phalguni is motion picture and cinema, which is why many people in the entertainment business, like movie directors, producers, filmmakers, and actors, have placements in Uttara Phalguni, or they can generally be very interested and fascinated by the cinema. Overall, stage acting, performance, and drama are Leo themes, and drama here refers both to the acting world as well as to a certain dramatic flair, keyword number 10, that Leo natives are often known for. This is due to the grandeur of their royal nature, but also because they often have very all-or-nothing types of reaction. They can overemphasize small experiences and just in general have all-or-nothing attitude. Like all the zodiac signs, Leo has some wonderful qualities, but it also has a darker side. Many negative influences on Leo, or just a negative expression of this zodiac sign in the person's life, can lead to things like narcissism, being extremely self-centered, being power-hungry, abusing authority, and just overall being very dominating. Let's round up the keywords associated with the Leo zodiac sign before moving on to the celebrity examples portion of this video. Central, royal, leadership, heart and spirit, generosity, self, creativity, authenticity, entertainment, and dramatic flair. Before we look at celebrity birth charts, please note that what I am referencing here are Vedic sidereal chart placements, which features a different chart style and where planets find themselves in different zodiac signs than what you may have seen in popular Western astrology. If you'd like to learn more about the differences between these two systems, then be sure to check out a video that I've recently published about the differences between Vedic and Western astrology. The first Leo celebrity example that we're going to look at is Blake Lively, a famous American actress who first became known for her role as Serena Vanderwoodson, the it girl of Upper East Side on Gossip Girl. More recently, she's also been known for her performance as Lily Bloom in the screen adaptation of Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us, where Blake Lively starred alongside Justin Baldoni. Let's quickly look at her chart. Blake Lively is a Cancer rising. However, 5 out of 9 planets, including the Sun and the Moon, are placed in Leo in her birth chart. So needless to say, she is very much a Leo celebrity. If this chart style is unfamiliar to you, this is a North Indian chart style with Vedic astrology. If you'd like to follow along, be sure to check out my video where I explain how to build and read a Vedic birth chart in my Astrology for Beginners series. Now back to Blake Lively. She embodies Leo in so many ways, starting with her appearance. Leo's physical features often include a golden color palette, high cheekbones, radiant complexion, confident posture, and a large mane of hair. And if you look at the image of Blake Lively, you will see she is all it. Now, in addition to all of this, Blake is known as a red carpet fashion icon, and she often turns up at high society galas wearing show-stopping attire. Now, the image that I have in my head is the Statue of Liberty dress that she wore to the 2022 Met Gala. She's an actress, and she typically stars in leading roles that have a lot of dramatic flair, where her characters are this enigmatic personality or this it girl or just somebody who is the main character and takes the center stage of the screen production. Think about her portrayal of Serena Vanderwoodson on Gossip Girl, for example, or her role in The Age of Adeline, or a very interesting role she's had as Emily Nelson on A Simple Favor, a movie where she wasn't meant to be one of the key protagonists who would have a lot of screen time, yet she was this enigmatic figure that was very omnipresent in the story and that was absolutely essential to the plot of the movie. Blake Lively is also known for her marriage and her witty and banterful relationship with Ryan Reynolds. They're viewed as one of celebrity power couples, and they have 4 kids together so far. So you can definitely see the building a legacy angle here as well. Now, the interesting thing is Blake's image has recently become more and more controversial and her persona more and more polarized. For years, she maintained this very witty, charismatic, and down-to-earth personality. However, recently there have been allegations against her that she is the mean girl on the production set, she was rude or passive-aggressive to journalists, overall difficult to deal with, aiming to take control of the creative narrative on the set, which is something that is deterring a lot of industry professionals from working with her these days. Such self-importance, pickiness, and dramatic behavior is definitely one of the ways that Leo zodiac sign can show up in a more negative way. She has also recently been the subject of more intense media scrutiny and public backlash, especially since the It Ends With Us press tour that she was a part of. The movie and the book, It Ends With Us, centers on the subject of domestic abuse, and Blake's narrative during the promotional run has been tone deaf. Instead of drawing attention and using her public influence and persona to speak up about the important matter, she was encouraging people to wear their florals to the premiere, treating the movie as a light-hearted romantic comedy. In addition to that, she made a big emphasis about promoting her hair care line and her beverage brand, which was perceived as very insensitive and self-serving. And then there was a matter of a legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, where Blake filed several allegations against Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and hostile work environment, where most of these were dismissed in May 2026. Leo Exhibit B, Madonna. If you lived at any point in the last 50 years, you know who Madonna is. She is the mega superstar of pop music, the reigning queen of pop since her very first album Madonna in 1983. By looking at her chart, we can see that she is a Leo rising with Moon and Mercury in the first house in Leo. Madonna's creative legacy is truly inspiring. She has been extremely popular for 5 decades, where throughout this time, she consistently produced new and quality creative material, reinventing herself and reinventing her music as the artist. She recorded many of the pop anthems that defined these decades. For example, Like a Virgin, Material Girl, and La Isla Bonita in the 80s, Frozen, Vogue, and Justify My Love in the 90s, Music, Die Another Day, and Hun Up in early 2000s, and Girl Gone Wild and Bitch I'm Madonna in 2010s. And that is naming only the very few and the biggest ones. What puts Madonna at the top of the music industry is her incredible talent, hard work, and her dedication to continuously reinventing herself as an artist and experimenting with different genres of music, blending them to achieve the most contemporary sound of the era. She is recognized for her bold and provocative stage performances that confront societal expectations about things like feminine sexuality, age, and religion. And this continues to generate shock value with audiences worldwide, keeping her at the center of attention. One of the interesting details about her personal life is that she has 6 children, 4 of which she adopted. Lastly, let's look at a very controversial Leo personality. Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, a real estate tycoon, and a business personality. His chart is a Leo rising with Mars and Leo, but also Sun as the chart ruler is extremely strong and dominant in the 10th house, where it is also being eclipsed as it is conjunct by Rahu. All of this means that the Sun energies are the most dominant for his personality, which is exactly what lends him into this hit parade of Leo personalities. Whether you favor Donald Trump or not, you cannot deny that he is currently at the top of the world, and he's become one of the most influential people of the 21st century. Him holding the highest government seat in the United States is a very strong manifestation of the Leo and Sun energies of his birth chart. What I find very interesting is that his ascendant falls into the part of the Leo zodiac sign that is associated with the throne, power, and royalty. So in a way, you can say that this kind of life was something that he was destined for. But let's look for a minute at what he's done with this power, because Donald Trump is a celebrity textbook example for when Leo zodiac sign goes into its dark side. Trump's entire public persona is built around one thing: himself. There's no product, no policy, no movement or service that he does that doesn't ultimately come back to Donald Trump himself. Where a healthy expression of Leo is to use person's gravitas and their power to draw people to a shared vision, Trump uses it to draw people toward him and his personality. Full stop. His communication style is full of dramatic flair. He famously uses superlatives, and his rallies function more as performances rather than political events. And overall, Trump acts in this really grandiose way fitted for Leo. The eclipsed Sun conjunct Rahu in the 10th house also tells an interesting story. Rahu amplifies and distorts any planet that it comes into contact with. And when it comes into contact with the Sun, it creates an obsessive hunger for recognition and power, and a very fragile and bruised ego. This hunger for power and recognition pushes the person to pursue leadership roles and establish themselves as the central figure in the room. However, what looks like leadership on the outside in reality is a desire to dominate the room, every room, on the inside. In shadow, or in the darker manifestations of Leo, Leo doesn't just want to lead, it wants to be the only authority in the room, so it starts suppressing everybody else. And we see this with Donald Trump's continuous abuse of power. His administration deported the migrants in open defiance of federal court orders. In June 2025, he authorized the first ever direct US airstrikes on Iranian soil without congressional authorization. In this way, bypassing the War Powers Act entirely. He acts according to his whims and has little regard for structure, process, and the people that are implicated in his decisions. Outside of his political career, there are several other ways in which he demonstrates his Leo qualities. For example, his real estate empire features a lot of hospitality projects, including golf courses and hotels like Trump Tower. And he is a father to 5 children, some of whom have been very strongly involved in his political and business careers. Before we wrap up the overview of Leo zodiac sign, let's look at a few more notable Leo natives. Steve Jobs, founder and creator of Apple and iPhone. Leo rising with Sun in 7th house, aspecting onto Leo and the 1st house. Letitia, Queen of Spain, Aquarius rising with Sun, Mars, and Mercury in the 7th house. Tim Burton, American filmmaker known for his distinctive, whimsical, gothic, and dark fantasy works like Beetlejuice and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Taurus rising with Sun and Mercury in Leo. Ray Bradbury, one of the most celebrated 20th century American writers. His brilliant mind authored works like Fahrenheit 451, Dandelion Wine, and The Martian Chronicles. Sagittarius rising with Jupiter, Sun, Venus, and Saturn in Leo. Dua Lipa, an English pop singer and songwriter. Taurus rising with Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Leo. Gianfranco Ferré, an Italian fashion designer known as the architect of fashion. Leo rising with Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus in Leo. Freddie Mercury, a British singer-songwriter and lead singer of Queen. Scorpio rising with Sun and Mercury in Leo. Colleen Hoover, an American author and romance novelist known for her novels It Ends With Us and Verity. Taurus rising with Mars, Jupiter, Rahu, and Moon in Leo. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to my channel to be notified of the upcoming videos.